Good morning, good day, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all races, ages, genders, sexual orientations, religions, etc. The Olympics are approaching. It is a special time where athletes from all around the world come together to compete against each other to serve their country in various athletic events in an attempt to not only claim their bragging rights, but also to cement their legacy in world history. This event happens in both the summer and winter times every 4 years, depending on the season. In the case of 2024, it's the Summer Olympics. Many people have memories of their favorite or most memorable athlete, especially in recent times. One of many events is track and field, an event I personally enjoy watching, as it is a sport I participated in my younger days. In the spirit of the Olympics ahead, I would like to take the time to remember an Olympic athlete who faced racial bias, discrimination, and overwhelming odds stacked against him during the growing tensions in the world nearly 100 years ago. I'm talking, of course, about Jesse Owens. One may ask, who is Jesse Owens? And what's so special about him? Well, born James Cleveland and nicknamed JC, Jesse Owens was born on the 12th of September, 1913, in Oakville, Alabama. He was the youngest of 10 children to Henry Cleveland Owens and Mary Emma Fitzgerald. At the young age of 9, Owens and his family moved to Cleveland, Ohio, due to the Great Migration, a period of racial segregation when millions of Black Americans fled the southern states of America to the more urban and industrial northern states. Even as a young man, Owens would take on various low-skilled jobs such as delivering groceries, loading freight cars, and working in a shoe repair shop. His father and older brother worked in a steel mill. It was in his youth that he discovered his passion for running. He began running at the age of 13 and became a standout athlete, especially for his graceful style of running. This passion continued in junior high school, where he met Charles Riley, his track coach. Due to his work schedule after school, Owens would practice before the school day began. Owens' time in junior high school would also lead him to finding the love of his life, Minnie Ruth Solomon. Owens gained further attention in the nation when he was a student of East Technical High School. One may ask, what the hell did a high school student in Ohio do to gain national attention? Well, while competing at the 1933 National High School Championship in Chicago, Owens equaled the then world record of 9.4 seconds in the 100-yard dash and long jump, which he reached 24 feet 9.5 inches. Now, keep in mind, he's doing this as a high school athlete. With that in mind, even in a racially segregated country like the United States at the time, there's no way Owens would be picked up at any university, right? Wrong. Owens would attend Ohio State University. This would unfortunately mean the end of his long-term coach-to-trainee relationship with Charles Riley, though he would be in the helpful hands of Larry Snyder. Unfortunately, Owens was still subject to racial hate, and he did not receive a scholarship for his efforts, meaning he continued to work part-time on top of training to be a top athlete. The 15th of May, 1935, would be a day that lived in infamy during the Big Ten Championship in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Despite having a hurt back from falling down the stairs 3 days prior, Owens convinced his coach to allow him to compete through understandable caution. Owens would then go on to make history as he ran the 100-yard dash with a time of 9.4 seconds, long jumped 26 feet, 8 1/4 inches, ran a 220-yard sprint in 20.3 seconds, and a 220-yard low hurdles in 22.6 seconds. All of these events were world records, except for the 100-yard dash, which he equaled. Owens would use his success from the Big Ten Championship to advance himself into the 1936 Berlin Olympics. Despite hesitations and attempts from outside sources trying to convince him not to go, Owens, along with his American teammates, would board the SS Manhattan and arrived in Berlin for the Olympics. While in Berlin, Owens would receive a gift from Adolf "Addy" Dassler, the founder of the now famous sports company known as Adidas. During his visit in the Olympic Village, where the Olympic athletes rested, Dassler persuaded Owens to wear his shoes during his races, marking the first sponsorship for a male African-American athlete. On the 3rd of August 1936, Owens would compete in the 100-meter dash and win the event with a time of 10.3 seconds, an Olympic record at the time. The following day, Owens would win the long jump with a distance of 26 feet 5 inches, nearly beating his own record. This was a highly publicized event, as Lutz Long, a German athlete, was the European record holder in the long jump, while Owens was the world record holder. Again, the following day, Owens would win his third event, the 200-meter dash, with a time of 20.7 seconds. 4 days later, on the 9th of August, for controversial reasons, Owens and Ralph Metcalf, a college friend of Owens, would replace Jewish American athletes Marty Glickman and Sam Stoller for the 4x100 meter relay. The team would win the event with a time of 39.8 seconds, a then world record. Owens would finish his Olympic run, no pun intended, with 4 gold medals, being the first American to do so. This was an achievement that would not be matched for nearly 50 years, when Carl Lewis did the same. Despite the hostile atmosphere that was Nazi Germany, Owens was lauded by the German crowd, even Lutz Long, who would later be a friend of Owens after the games. Following the games, Owens would be required to join an exhibition tour organized by the AAU and the American Olympic Committee. He and other members of the American track team would travel across Europe for various competitions while not being compensated for their performances. This left Owens with little money. He would receive offers to make public appearances back in the United States, but Owens refused. This would lead to the AAU disbarring him, make him ineligible to compete in future AAU-sponsored events, and ending his athletic career. Owens returned back to the United States, where he would continue to face misfortune. Despite his celebrity-like status, he was still treated unfairly due to the color of his skin. He would find difficulty financially supporting himself with odd jobs. He would make various appearances such as baseball games and political events. During the 1960 Olympic Games, Owens would be in attendance where he met the 100-meter champion Armin Harry of Germany. By 1972, after working various jobs to sustain himself and his family, Owens and his wife retired to Tucson, Arizona. Owens would pass away on the 31st of March, 1980 at the age of 66 due to lung cancer. He was a longtime smoker that began when he was 32 years old. He's buried next to the Lake of Memories at Oakwood Cemetery in Chicago. Some of his family members still reside in that area. He was recognized by President Ford in 1976 with the Presidential Medal of Freedom and Jimmy Carter in 1979 with the Living Legend Award. Carter would state following Owens' death, "Perhaps no athlete better symbolized the human struggle against tyranny, poverty, and racial bigotry." Thank you for watching this video. I said it before and I'll say it again. I love doing these videos because you find out so much more about a person than what's on the surface. My interest grew in Jesse Owens for many reasons. The first was because of, obviously, the 2024 Olympics. Second is because I was watching the 2016 movie Race. I'm actually surprised at how long ago that movie came out because it feels like it came out more recently than that. The third is because I myself am a runner. I may not be a sprinter like Jesse, but we both like to use our legs for exercise. Lastly, it's because of my visit to Athens, Greece recently. Last week, to be more specific. I was fortunate enough to visit the Panathinaik Stadium, which is the birthplace of the modern Olympics. It really reminded me that many athletes throughout history competed at that stadium, and it's also the finish line of the Athens Marathon. Who knows, maybe you and I can run it one day. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video and maybe felt inspired to run or watch the Olympic Games. With that being said, thank you for watching. Take care of yourselves, make good decisions, and have a wonderful rest of your day.